Hey everybody, welcome to the weekend. It's Thursday, we're almost there, hanging there. Welcome to another episode of A Blind Guy,
His Wife,
Their Life Live. This is where we change the narrative of normal, of what it means to be disabled and differently abled instead of disabled.
You're going to get that right one day.
I'm going to get that right one day.
So guys, Corey can't see. Some people would say he's disabled. We say he's differently abled. So of course, if you're speaking about yourself, it's really difficult to categorize yourself the way others want to categorize you.
Right.
So I get it. We're just trying to get it right for you guys.
Now, these episodes, these live episodes, we do these every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11:15 to 11:45. 30-minute fun-filled journey where we introduce you to aspects of our lives, the people that have interacted with me and LaQuita as a blind man and his wife. And these individuals bring something special to the table each and every week. And we're going to have fun with them, and you're going to hear the word on the street today by Morgan.
So for today's topics, we definitely have a word on the street. That means somebody's going to come in. Maybe they'll give us a slang term. Maybe they'll give us a formal term. I don't know. We have a teenager today, Corey, so we might get some slang. We might learn what the kids are talking about.
Maybe. We'll see. So nobody's capping around here.
Capping. What's that? Like, oh, you're lying.
And speaking of not capping, there's no cap when we say that we have a very special guest to interview today. He's all the way here despite the devastating disaster that happened last night to his favorite football team, Baltimore. He still decided to join us today.
Did we take our hat off and put it across our heart? Like, what do you do?
This song's dedicated.
Wait, copyright infringement?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, we also have his lovely wife, Eric and Lisa of Diversity Restoration Solutions.
You guys are going to really enjoy today's guest because, like Corey is saying, it's a husband and wife couple, and
that's usually what husband and wife means.
Anyways, let's get on to people saying hello. How about that? Let's go right.
Don't forget plant-based treaters at the end too. You got something sweet for us today, right?
Oh yeah, I always have something sweet for you, like as in sweet as in good. You know, that's a slang term. That's a word on the street.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
I'm coming through. But Aquaba, welcome. Blind Guy, his wife, their life. Our children are saying hello. And then, Zenobia Ridley says, hey, to my favorite family.
Supernova, what's going on?
We got Supernova in the house. And then, hey, we also have Fan Britt saying, hey, fam. She's ready for the weekend. You can tell.
Fan Britt in the house probably got her 30th cup of coffee in her hand.
30th? Stop talking bad about people. All right. So we also have Sean saying, hey, family.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Now, we do have here somebody bringing the weather report. Shine bright. Grand rising, everyone.
Shine bright. You can shine bright. You got to shine brighter, baby, because it is cold outside.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Can't go out and play.
Baby, it's cold outside.
In the house, the children stay.
I told y'all I sing backup. You know what I mean? I don't want to give y'all too much because the people aren't ready. But
no, they're not.
Anyways, let's move on to Atumpan, the Talking Drums Edutainment. That's our organization.
Atumpan in the house, organization representing.
Aquaba family, ready, awake, and alert for this live. Our kids have had their coffee today, Corey, so I guess that's why they are.
Right.
They're saying welcome in the Ghanaian language of Twi. Hey, Supernova says, Corey, you are definitely not handicapped, and I appreciate you guys for educating me. I appreciate you, Zenobia, because you know it's so funny. Me and Corey even talk about that word handicapped. It just sounds bad, like handicapped. Like, what is we doing? So
I mean, I still use a ride service called Handy Ride. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, come on now. We can do something better than Handy Ride. But okay. Nevertheless, I appreciate you for saying that I'm not handicapped. All right. Thank you.
So we've got waves coming from good vibes coming from Blind Guy, his wife, their life. And our kids are saying through our other account, Atumpan, that's our nonprofit organization. If you guys are not aware, Atumpan is saying the Talking Drums Edutainment. It's cold outside. They probably took out the trash and felt that weather, you know. And so Shine Bright says, I'm still shining through the coldness. So, hey, we've got a lot of good things in store for you guys today. And I say, Corey, you know, we just jump right in.
All right. It's now time for Morgan to bring us today's Word on the Street.
Hello. How are you today, Morgan?
I'm good.
Well, I hear that you have a word on the street for us today. I know you're a teenager, and that means you're hip and savvy. So I don't know what you got for us today. What's the word on the street?
Today's word on the street is mkeka. The mkeka is a straw mat placed under the kanara that represents the foundation of the family.
So the mkeka is the straw mat that goes under the kanara on the Kwanzaa table. And again, it does represent the foundation of which is the family. Now, Kwanzaa is an African American celebration. Kwanzaa is a holiday. Kwanzaa is an African American holiday. 7 candles, 7 principles, 7 special days, all African.
Hey, you weren't expecting that, Morgan. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
So the 7 candles represent the 7 principles that guide our way throughout the year. And the straw mat holds up the 7 the kanara that the 7 candles rest in, just like our family holds us up. Now, Morgan, I'm pretty sure you know that because you have a very loving mother that supports you. Am I right?
Yes.
Wait.
Really flat and boring.
Okay, so before we get her in trouble with her mom, just so you know that our children are saying, ooh, nice decor. So they really like the African vibe going on with all the traditional carvings. Behind you, I see vases. I love the colors and everything. Did you have anything to do with those decorations?
No.
Well, thanks for being honest.
Yeah, no, stop. Thank you for not capping.
Not capping. Is that how y'all would use capping instead of lying? Would y'all say thank you for not capping? Probably not, right? Well, Carrie is saying, Morgan the beautiful. So the audience is really excited about you being here. We have Blind Guy, his wife, their life, our Watoto, our children say, hey, Morgan girl, your hair is cute, girl, period, slay queen, slay. So you already know that was probably our oldest one.
See, that's a word on the street right there, slay. Slay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
We don't mean like that's like, pulling a one-horse open sleigh, but it's like.
Yeah, like you killing the game with your fashion, the style, you are killing it. Yes, well, Yaya Bey is in here saying, Akwaba, my noble African family. So he's saying, welcome. We also have Fan Britt saying, hey, Morgan, way to go.
Yaya Bey, off we go into the deep blue yonders on Ethiopian air, flying away.
That's an inside joke, y'all. They think they're going on Ethiopian air because the attendants are so lovely. But anyway, Elizabeth says, hello all. Hey, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is across the waters in a whole nother country, and she has a fabulous channel if you want to know more about moving around the continent of Africa. She gives you all the details. That's her channel name right there, Elizabeth. And so that's part of what we're talking about today, Morgan. I don't know if you realize that the guest on today's show is going to be talking about the continent of Africa, how we can get there, and all of those good things. And so we appreciate you coming through, and we're going to send you backstage. But let's see. We got some other folks in here saying, I'm looking into studio time for you too. #Harmony. So that's Carrie. So basically, Morgan, I don't know if you liked our singing, but Carrie loved it. Would you give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I'll give y'all a thumbs up.
All right, very good.
Even though Mr. Corey was threatening you, you would still give us a thumbs up without the threat.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Morgan. We're going to put you backstage as we prepare.
All right, everybody, make sure you say goodbye to Morgan because everybody was so excited to have her here today. We got our Watoto saying, plants, did you water them or sis? I think that's a typo and I can't figure out. Oh, plants, did I water them? We'll fix it. But all I can say is that Yaya Bey is laughing at the Ethiopian air joke. And Elizabeth says, haha, she was polite about it. Like when we were asking about our singing.
Right. Oh, Elizabeth got jokes. Oh.
well, she really caught it though, because Morgan took that long pause before.
That was buffering.
Oh, it was buffering. Oh, okay.
That's right. Umoja, Kuji Chagolia.
Take us down the African road.
Ujima, Ujama Emiya.
Take us down the African road.
Kumba.
Wait, which key am I going to change to? Wait, I'm trying to find another key.
Take us down the African road. Take us down the African road. Take us down.
Oh, wait, he stopped and never heard me.
Because it was like,
guys, we are done with this singing. People are saying hello to each other. Elizabeth is saying hello to Yaya Bay. And then we have our Watoto saying hi to Miss Carrie, because Carrie is a fabulous musician. And so we have played with her on many an occasion.
she's also in the Jamaican Rastafari community, they say she's a selector, but she's a DJ. So I call her DJ Dread Rocks because she has very long locks.
Yes, some luscious locks going on there. And so our kids were saying, bye, Morgan girl. Yaya Bay is speaking back to Elizabeth, and Sean is saying, bye, Morgan. Everyone was great.
Now Morgan brought us the word of the day, which is Nkeka, the foundation, which is represented by which represents the family for the Kwanzaa celebration. And our Kwanzaa celebration is Harambe for the holidays. Every year, the day after Christmas, December 26th, we have our annual stage play production, Harambe for the holidays. This year, we all know about the Roni. We actually are going to be doing it as a live stream on the day of December 26th, the day after Christmas, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And we're going to feature fabulous guests that actually drop in and do interviews live from the continent, as well as dance, poetry, and the annual stage play production. This year is called Successful Day of Fishing.
Absolutely. And so what's happening is it's usually a stage play, like Corey said, where it's organic and you have a story that's acted out by actors and an intermission. And then the second story is, on stage with the set and the costumes. You can see the live stream this year. We're green screening it. We're in production right now. We're in rehearsal. You see the flyer right there on the screen. However, backstage, what's happening is we are really putting in some work. So we hope that you can join us. We hope that you can partner with us, because these things do come at a premium and there are costs associated. If you'd like to partner with us, we would love that. We do have a Patreon with our parent organization, Atumpan, or you can cash out Blind Guy his wife if that's easier. All of the funds, they go to the same place, our 501c3 nonprofit account. So, Corey, speaking of accounts, we've got people that are looking to hear from our guests today.
Right.
They've got accounts in 4 different countries. I call it an account, like they have correspondence in 4 different countries, so that if we're looking to travel to the continent, they can help us get there. Let's just say, for example, Corey, Prince Kwesi says, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. The correct way is you say, because he was chatting back and forth with Lizzie Biddy. Now, Prince Kwesi is currently in Ghana. He's gone there. He's moved there. He's there right now. And
he was running from the law.
He was running from the law. Well, actually, he says, listen to Corey and Quita, y'all can actually sing.
Thank you, Prince Kwesi, recognizing true talent when you see it.
Our kids are laughing, but, I don't know. So he's just, saying hello to everyone. Everyone's saying hello. And hello to you, Global Green Book. So glad to have you here. She's saying blessings, family. Zari Brooks says she wants to go, Corey. So I say we bring in our guest. That way Zari can figure out how to get there.
Now, this is a fascinating guest we have today, Mr. Eric and his wife, Lisa. They are joining us from Africa Homecoming Movement. The Africa Homecoming Movement was started by this fabulous couple, and it's because of the Nkeka, or the foundation of the family connection, that Eric discovered to a man named Moses Grandy. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with Moses Grandy, I'll give you just a little background. I grew up in a section of town in the country, and they renamed the street Moses Grandy Trail. And at first I assumed, like most places, George Washington Highway, they're named after some European American hero or historical figure. But my research led me to find out Moses Grandy was actually an enslaved African in northeastern North Carolina, Elizabeth City and Camden, where my people are from. And he actually was a person that purchased his freedom, but he had to do it several times because he was tricked out of his money by the masters. He was finally successful, bought his freedom with some of his relatives that he was able to locate, and this led to generations passing until we get the great man that we have here today, his descendant, who's going to tell you about the connection to Africa and Moses Grandy, Mr. Eric Sheppard of the Africa Homecoming Movement. Let's bring him in.
So everyone, welcome Mr. Eric and his wife, Lisa Sheppard. Wait a minute, guys. I got to do that again. We need production.
Special guest is Eric and Lisa Sheppard of the Africa Homecoming Movement.
There's the music.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hello, welcome everyone. We had to get your intro music right. Production wasn't ready. But let's jump right in to the information that Corey just said. He gave us the history on Moses Grandy, and he says that, Eric, you are a direct descendant.
I'm in the Grandy family. My great-great-grandfather, Edmund Grandy, who was born in 1827, died in 1906. I believe he was the nephew of Moses Grandy. So I like to say we are all in the family, and it's just been an honor to find in my ancestry someone from hundreds of years ago that inspire me and give me courage today to do what I do.
Right. Now we have people here welcoming you, Elizabethan fan Brit. So the audience is excited about this information today. So I know that you are, like you said, Moses Grandy is a relative. You're
Yes.
in that family line. So you have an ebook that discusses this. Like, can you give us a little bit? And I'm going to share the screen so that people can actually see this connection, because right here, everything that we're saying, we can read about it. Moses Grandy legacy lives. And as we move down, we can figure out the connection. So go ahead and go ahead, Corey.
It is great because it's already ADA meets ADA requirements because it's an audio book. So people like me that can't see.
We've got our copy, by the way.
We got our copy. I can listen to it. People that went to places like Indian River and Virginia Commonwealth that have difficulty understanding the written language, they can listen to the book. I'm throwing shade at somebody, and they'll figure it out in a little while. Not somebody else, they'll figure it out.
He is always teasing our guests. But Prince Kwesi in Ghana says, welcome at Africa Homecoming Movement. Shine Bright is saying, welcome to the Africa Homecoming Movement. And so about this audio book, this is a professional book, and it's only $10. This way we can get our history, and we can also connect to the Africa Homecoming Movement when we order this book. So tell us a little bit more about this process, and I'll pull that back up.
Okay, well, I started researching my genealogy back in 1996. And I'm originally, as Brother Corey said earlier, I'm originally from Baltimore. And I was tracing my roots down to where my father was born, which is Chesapeake, Virginia. And when I reached Chesapeake, Virginia, and found some of my father's first cousins, they told me that our folks came out of Camden, North Carolina, went down there, and lo and behold, uncovered the slave narrative of Moses Grandy, late a slave in the United States of America, that was published in 1843. And from the clues that Moses Grandy left in that slave narrative, I was able to go around the country. Everywhere he went, I went, including to London, England, where the book was published. I went there and found other Grandy family relatives, and we all had our ever Grandy family reunion in 2003. in Chesapeake, Virginia, and 140 of us came together as a result of what Moses left for us. And most of us didn't know each other until that day. So
That's amazing.
What our ancestors sometimes leave for us is a real treasure and helps to guide us now, and as well as future generations. So it's a real blessing. So we were able to put that slave narrative, of course, with my introduction on it in an audio book. That just happened Juneteenth last year. We did that, and to make it available to the world and to honor Moses and what he did, but also it gave me an introduction into various parts of Africa because of what Moses Grandy did that opened doors for us there. So it's really exciting times for us. And when I say us, I'm talking about not only my wife, our family, but to others that are part of what we call our homecoming family in this movement.
So, you talk about this homecoming family, and speaking of family, Corey, Fan Britt, she knew you were talking about her. She said, "Don't do it, don't do it."
I don't want that smoke.
You don't. And family, everybody's so connected because Prince Kwesi is saying, "Be more," aka Baltimore. He spent some time there, and right now he's in Ghana. He's like, "I'm done with the States. Let me go ahead on and move to the next place now." And our own children are giving you thumbs up. You speak about the family and the connection. There's a document you have here that I want to share because it shows us these 4 groups that you were talking about. So I'm going to bring up I think this is the form here, though that's not the form I wanted. That's your other site, Diversity Restorations Solutions, because that's the name of the organization. I want to definitely bring up those 4 countries. Tell us a little bit about those 4 countries as I bring this up.
Okay, sure. I've been going to Africa since 2006. My first introduction to Africa was in the Gambia. From there, Ghana, then Zambia. And we also have what we call homecoming coordinators in each one of those countries. Liberia came on real recently that help us when we do our homecoming express trade mission and tours to those countries, and that they're our eyes and ears on the ground. Of course, they're from there, but we, through our histories, especially surrounding the slave trade, we are reconnecting after 400 years, so we call each other homecoming family. So yeah, so it's really a powerful time for us. So those are the 4 countries, and then we have these trade mission and tours that we're doing to each one of the countries to bring our people here home to connect up. And Lisa is spearheading that effort to organize and help facilitate the trade mission and heritage tours there.
You see, I kind of knew that because
you kind of knew what?
Eric is the historian, but it's always the women that got the economics down pat, boy. So she's working on the economic side of the trade. So Lisa, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, what I do is the tourism piece. Eric is the key for the trade.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eric.
Yeah, it's a Baltimore Raven playoff. I see what you're doing. Hit a brother while he's down. Go ahead.
So I help to coordinate the logistics with our homecoming coordinators across the waters. So putting together, working on the flights, working on the tours, working on people getting their passports, which is important. One of the things people need to do right now is get your passports, working with them to get their visas, doing anything and everything to prepare them to go home. So that's what my role is. And I work with a team of wonderful people who help with that. And we're getting ready, for 2021, hopefully that we'll be going over there and we'll want to take, people with us. So.
Right. And a passport is so important because we have here in the chat, Corey, African entrepreneur and investor. She says, Aquaba family. She's greeting us from Ghana. She has her passport. She is out of here. She also has a YouTube channel. So, guys, she just got her first video up, African entrepreneur and investor. And then, of course, we have people saying, very cool. That's our kids. We finally got our passports on the way. So, people are speaking and saying hello to savvy African entrepreneur and investor and welcoming her because, she's already there. She's in Ghana. And so what you're saying is that for Shine Bright, she says that's an interesting piece of history, or our kids saying very nice and very cool. But what you're saying is we can actually connect with your coordinators in the Gambia, in Ghana,
Liberia, Zambia.
Right. And this way, you guys can just sort of help us have correspondence so that we know what we need, how we can get there, and moving forward from there.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. But the major thing is, from my perspective, and this is where the whole trade and economics come in. I'm a former Department of Defense logistics and industrial-based program manager.
Okay.
So I've seen supplies for military equipment move around the world. So we look at things like developing supply chains from here to the countries there to create opportunities for them as well as for us. In Zambia, in the western province of Zambia, in an area of traditional people there, the Lozi people, I've been granted 300 acres of land to build a homecoming headquarters for us, for the whole African continent. So our approach is a little different. Tourism and trade is part of it, but I'm looking at creating options economically that we need that will last for generations, and for people who, for some reason, and I would definitely understand America doesn't work for you, then maybe accompanying us on these trade missions and tours, you might have other options available to you and your family. So we've taken a more comprehensive approach that we want to establish a presence on the African continent, not just for us, but for the millions of us who haven't had that bridge put out there for them before. So we don't consider ourselves tourists when we go to Africa.
Right. You're talking about legacy.
Now, I want to swing back to the historical side because a lot of people might not understand the connection between Moses Grandy here in Elizabeth, in North Carolina and Virginia, and the work that you're doing in Africa. Can you talk to them about Baruti land and the connection between Moses Grandy and the Dismal Swamp there as refuge for enslaved Africans, and then the Africans escaping slavery from Angola and Congo?
And that's really timely because Prince Kwesi is saying this is amazing. He researched his maternal great-great-grandfather from Eastern North Carolina that was purchased at the age of 9 by a white slave master, and he was unable to search back any further. So, a lot of people here, they appreciate this information. Sean Brooks says that's amazing. And Prince Kwesi is just talking about those 300 acres. That's amazing. And Van Britt is really getting what you're saying about these generational options. So tell us more about that research, that familial connection.
Yeah, well, a lot of it comes from the slave narrative and the clues that was left there, and it puts you in a location. So I found out a lot about the history of the Great Dismal Swamp, and now it's been designated an underground railroad site. But people are just learning about the escaped from slave plantation ancestors that went in the Dismal Swamp and lived for hundreds of years. And even in 1820, I think it was, they tried to send a militia in there to get them out, and they were unsuccessful. So that's part of the Underground Railroad, and they said in terms of numbers, they estimate about 50,000 people found refuge in or went through the Great Dismal Swamp on their way on the Underground Railroad. So
Wow.
in Hampton Roads area, not a lot is really talked about
Mm-hmm.
in regards to that. So when I went into Zambia,
and I pulled up a map here to sort of show there are 4 circles on the map. So when you say Zambia, that's this one right here on the western part of Africa. Hold on, let me move my circle over. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in a little bit for folks, because Lisa was so gracious to provide us with this map. So thank you, Lisa, for creating this. Can you all see that a little bit better with those circles? Okay. So go ahead and tell us about when you went to Zambia. I've got the map pulled up.
Yeah, and you see that in the south, sort of central part of Africa, but where we've connected
to Liberia.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. But where is, you notice it neighbors Angola. And you know some of the history about the first slave ship from Angola landed in Virginia and all of that, 1619. Well, in the western part of Zambia, many people here, I'm sure, don't know that they have the floodplains there, a lot of swampy terrain and stuff, just like at the Dismal Swamp. So people, how did people survive in the swamp for a couple hundred years? They knew how to survive in the swamp.
Right.
Just because you put them on a slave ship and bring them over here and oppress them and send them through this hard doesn't mean they don't know what they know before they came here. So as you see logistically from the western part of Zambia through Angola and the track onto the U.S., but in western province of Zambia, back in the early 1800s, it was a king at the time his name was King Walamba. And he decided to terminate the Arab slave traders from coming through that kingdom. And the Angolans who were escaping the slave traders would run into that kingdom for refuge. Dismal Swamp. So last year when we went over for our 400-year commemoration to reconnect, we helped to establish the Great Dismal Swamp National Wildlife Refuge in Suffolk is now a strategic tourism partner with the Barotseland Kingdom there because of the shared similar history. And without Moses Grandy, we wouldn't really, I know I wouldn't be on this track. So that's how now can really benefit us today.
Well, you're a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of history. So we got to find a way. We got to bring you back. Can we get you back to continue this discussion, because there's a lot of information about.
Yeah, because he just discussed King Litunga, or that, like the way the name was given to him, but he couldn't even get into all of that. I'm just looking at their page about the ebook, mubita.net. So guys, if you like more information, yeah, you can definitely go to their sites. Now, if you go to mubita.net, there's a capital M for a reason. And so that means that when you go on to, let's put this here at the bottom, connect at mubita.net. You can see it right down there. You can get a lot of information, but we've got to get you back, Mr. Sheppard and Lisa as well, so that you can explain to us how you acquired this name, because we can read it on the page, sure, but it's not as meaningful as when you actually explain to us that you were there, the king gave you this name and your connection with everything. And then, of course, we can also get further into this video that you have on your page, because there are some very special people in this video. I'm not going to say, I'm just going to say there's an attractive family that Yes, yours truly. So we want to make sure we make the connection with everything, but we got to get you back in order to do that. There's just not enough time in one day.
We truly appreciate all the support that you all have given us when you and your family participated in our Africa Homecoming Expo last summer at the Hampton Roads Convention Center before we led the delegation to Zambia. We're glad to be able to support and connect with you and your family here on your channel. So we definitely look forward to coming back and sharing more, especially about our planned trade and heritage tour next year to the Gambia.
Yes, Prince Kwesi, he's like, yeah, I am a resident of Ghana, not a tourist. He gets it. He's already there. Our children are giving you thumbs up. They're saying that's amazing. And Shonda Brooks says, wow, she never knew that about the Dismal Swamp. And we grew up in this area. The things that you are surrounded by, but you don't realize are those things that you suffer for. So we appreciate you bringing this information here today.
So guys, we're gonna put you backstage. We thank you for joining us, and don't go anywhere because we're gonna talk to you later after the broadcast is over about how we can get you back to share your knowledge with our audience. But
get the ebook, guys. Get the ebook.
Yeah, get the ebook.
We're working to try and get this in the schools also, public and private schools. So yes,
good. Because as you see, right, because like Shonda is saying, what a shame it isn't taught in the Virginia schools, and the Dismal Swamp is a really big part of Virginia. They talk about the Dismal Swamp, but they don't talk about this. So
they're telling what you and Shonda used to call the Dismal Swamp, where I lived in.
I can't remember. So we're gonna go ahead.
They call it back the hole. They call it back the hole. BACKDAHOLE. Back the hole.
Back the hole. That's it.
So guys, we're going to backstage as we get ready.
Yes, because the people want more. Van Brett does.
For today's plant-based treat.
All right, on time, guys. This is a super simple plant-based treat, and you all eat it. Everyone has had this, so let's show it to you. Here goes.
Two-step jam. Just 2 steps.
Jam. Two-step jam. Two-step jam.
And there are a couple of bonus ingredients that you can use. If you'd like to sweeten it, just use sugar. If you'd like to brighten the flavor, you can add a squeeze of lemon juice. I find using a very small container is great. This is an empty gum container. So like once you're finished with gum, if you buy something like this, pull off the wrapper, everything comes completely off. You end up with this.
Step 1, add frozen fruit. Fill up the container that I ate all the gum out of. Hey! Tee-hee. Step 2, add a tablespoon of chia seeds.
I like a little bit of sugar, so I'm gonna put like a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, not much, of sugar. And I like to brighten up the flavor. So there we have it, a little bit of lemon juice. That's it. We're gonna shake it up since these kind of thawed out anyways. And then I'll shake it up again. But I'm gonna show you this, guys, in about 20 minutes. I'm gonna leave it on the counter. Break up the berries a little bit.
I like it with more sugar. We added that and it tasted great. Enjoy!
All right,
everybody. Make sure you make that two-step jam and eat it with some peanut butter too, because it's good.
absolutely. So guys, you know what to do. If you'd like to partner with us, Cash App, Blind Guy, His Wife, it goes directly to our nonprofit organization, Atumpan. You can become a patron of Atumpan. Our children agreed, Corey, the jam was so good. So
I said jam.
The jam was so good. So we enjoyed you. We have truly enjoyed all of you today. Thank you for joining us. We're almost there, guys, to the weekend, because we come to you every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 11:15 to 11:45 Eastern Standard Time. Now, just so you know, Corey, Carrie says, good gravy. That looks good. And Fan Brett is giving us a thumbs up. So I think the people are really going to try this.
Well, we appreciate you for joining on this 30-minute journey. Again, join us every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we want to make sure that you bum rush the buttons, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so that you can know when more videos are coming out. And I'm going to dedicate this goodbye to Prince Kwesi. We fitting to get up on out of here. So, deuces. Deuces.